Alright everyone, today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I do get quite a few questions on every now and then. Um, and this is on interacting with a shy individual. And I get a lot of questions from females about this. I'm shy myself. I have this crush in my class and he is pretty shy. I don't know how to deal with this. And again, the situations vary, but sometimes it's I don't know him very well. We haven't spoken. Sometimes it's I don't think he knows I exist. Other times it's yeah, we're decent friends, but he's very shy. So how do you go about this? And I do think to a certain degree, because everyone is different, it can be a case by case basis. And you can ask questions to the end of time. But sometimes the best thing to do is just try things out using just a decent amount of advice I give you or someone else gives you, or just try it out yourself, because you can fall into the trap of just paralysis by analysis, just too many questions, too much information, and then you do nothing and you just freak out. So I'm just going to tell you from my personal experiences, just being a naturally shy guy. I honestly thought I had broken free of certain realms of shyness and extrovertedness and become confident. And in certain ways, I have, honestly. But in other ways, in many situations with females or people, I don't know what it is. I mean, if it's a girl that I find attractive, or it's just a girl that's, you know, you don't have those go-to direct lines of interest that just connect. I can be a very shy individual. So I'm using my personal experiences as a shy individual to try and help you out. I know there's a lot of other videos on the topic from other channels, but for some reason I do have a bit of audience that wants my opinion, and just my opinion on this. So I guess I'll try and help out. So what do? Well, for me, if I'm in a situation and I know this girl, and let's say I don't know her that well, first thing you want to do is close that gap, and you don't want to come off too strong. If you come off way too strong, for me, I would just be like, this is too much. I don't know this girl. What's going on? And especially if for me, I don't have like exceptional amounts of friends or social circles, or I don't get extreme attention like that. So I can imagine it can come off just like too much for someone, and then if you do that, you can just scare them away, and they'll just be like, I don't know what to do, and then it would just get very awkward, and then it can go really badly. And again, I guess part of that may be because they don't get that much attention from either gender that much. So it's like all this attention, all this like value from maybe even a quite attractive girl. It can scare them off. They may think something's wrong. They may think you're making fun of them when you're not. All these sort of things, or they're just not at a time, or they don't have the personality or develop the growth. Some of them never do. They never choose to do so. I'm working on it, but they never develop the masculinity or the acceptance of sexuality and confidence to sort of like deal with that and play with that and like handle that. So for you, a much better way of approaching it is just to come across in a very slower way, less strong, and maybe get to know that person and slowly become their friend over time. Again, if it's something that's you don't know if you will have 5 years, maybe you will have half a year, 2 weeks, 5 months. It can be different. So you don't want to come off too slow. Then if you know like, well, you're going to graduate school in 6 months. So your end goal should, I guess, to be to befriend them. And again, I'm trying to think from the general shy guy perspective. For me, being the I don't want to sound arrogant, but unique individual I am, at this point in my life, through my experiences and my developments, and just getting into dating because I want dating advice because I wanted to improve myself so much, I'll take anything. You know, you can. If a girl comes up to me and says you're damn hot, let me get your number. I'll take it. You know, probably not. Honestly, I'll probably it may be too strong, and I may shy away to a certain extent. Um, yeah, for sure. But so generally, you know, again, it's all sort of moving towards like it's just overkill for a shy person to go too far, and so um, I guess the best thing to do is just naturally get to know them, spend time with them, and um, over time, I mean, they're not stupid. Sometimes they will be, but I would say if you spend enough time with them, you get to know them enough, and eventually, if you start establishing at least a decent friendship with that person, like it's not rocket science, folks. If you start doing stuff like just chatting with them on Facebook or text messaging them, that in itself, by its nature, it's just like implies, hold up, is this girl possibly thinking or interested in me more than just friendship? And like I would say most guys are not as stupid as you think. They would start thinking about those things and considering them. Um, the reason that shy guys, or I guess you can say very, in, I mean, I don't want a blanket statement. A lot of shy guys may be very insecure themselves, or just um, unsure what to do, or just have very low self-esteem. And so the real reason if they don't execute or do anything, or freeze up, or just become very professional or objective, or whatever the reason, oftentimes like assuming it's not because you're both co-workers or some other thing that just makes it weird. If it's just something like you're in school with that person and you're chatting on Facebook or texting, you've gotten his number and you're just texting casually, and for some reason he's just keeping it very formal and so forth. Um, one, there's a chance that he still hasn't considered you or acknowledged you or even thought of you in that way. Two, more likely it's because heck, he is just so like uncomfortable because he's so inexperienced in this field. He doesn't know what to do, and he's just like scared to death, low self-esteem, and doesn't do anything about it. So for that, it's kind of like it's partially the guy's fault. Like guys like that, I see a lot in the Asian male culture. Again, not all Asian males are like this. I've seen some masculine heavy hitters, which are rare, but they're pretty darn awesome. Um, but putting that aside, like for these shy types, like part of it's kind of like it's very tough to deal with because it's just like, I mean, they have a lot to do themselves, and like if they're like they will never like do anything. Um, so generally though, um, I would say a lot of them are not as dumb or stupid as you think. And I would say most Asians or shy people, if you're thinking about just Asian shy people, I mean, that's another topic on itself. But most shy people in general, I mean, human nature will take its course. And so if you get to the chatting on Facebook or text messaging state, or just being around them long enough, um, and here's the key, slowly slowly starting to flirt, maybe a few sexual innuendos, um, or complimenting them on how they look, or maybe even saying, suggesting that maybe you like them. Um, they'll get the hint eventually, and it's just human nature. And I mean, it'll work out. Even Asian shy guys, um, they will understand this. And not all of them are super timid or super shy and just like will freeze up and do nothing and there's nothing you can do. Some of them will be man enough and it will just slowly start to develop. Again, if you run into that case where they're just too stupid and they haven't acknowledged it or they haven't thought of you in that way, then again you have to start using, you don't want to go overboard for the same reason of coming off too strong. But you want to start adding maybe sexual innuendos, sexual jokes, little fun things, compliments like I like your shirt today, or start flirting with them a little bit, like little small things. So that's all we want to say, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later in my next video. Peace.